Hey everyone, so today we're jumping into a topic that's really shaking things up in the tech world. It's a brand new practice, and honestly, it's got some developers super excited, while others are, a little bit nervous. We are talking about something called vibe coding. All right, let's get right into it. So here's the massive question that's on everybody's mind. Is it possible that this new AI technique could just make all our existing software obsolete? I mean, think about it. Everything from Microsoft Office to the super complex platforms developers use every day. Could they all just go away? It's a seriously disruptive thought. And what's the culprit behind all this buzz? Well, it's this fascinating, kind of controversial new method called vibe coding. Now I know, the name sounds a little out there, a bit abstract, right? But believe me, the potential impact here is absolutely real. All right, Section 1, the AI coding revolution. This is where we ask, is this it? Is this the big one? Are we really on the edge of a revolution where AI takes over coding, or is the story a little more complicated than that? While a lot of people are hitting the panic button, there's a really big voice in the tech world pushing back. We're talking about Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn and a major venture capitalist. And he has a very different take on all this. For him, it's not about an ending. It's about an evolution. And here's his main point, and it's a powerful one. He says, new technologies typically augment rather than obliterate established systems. Basically, he's arguing that we've seen this movie before, right? We always freak out and think the new thing is going to completely destroy the old thing. But what actually happens, most of the time, is that the new tech just adds to what we already have. It's about augmentation, not annihilation. Okay, Section 2. To really get what he's talking about, we need to get on the same page. So, what is vibe coding anyway? At its heart, vibe coding is basically just talking to an AI. You're using natural language, plain English, to tell it what to build. So instead of spending hours writing perfect, precise lines of code, you focus on the concept, the vibe. You're describing the feeling you're going for. You could literally say, hey, build me an app that feels like a cozy, quiet bookstore. And the AI just starts building it for you. Pretty wild, right? And this really gets to the core of the whole debate. When you look at vibe coding versus traditional coding, you see two totally different priorities. Vibe coding is all about speed, about iterating quickly and just capturing that vibe. But traditional coding, that's all about precision, solid structure, and the kind of reliability you absolutely have to have for, the really important stuff that just can't fail. Okay, Section 3. Let's talk about the promise here. The creativity boost. Now that we know what it is, let's look at why so many people are genuinely excited about this. And it really boils down to giving creativity and speed a massive shot in the arm. I mean, the potential upside here is just huge. Think about it. You can spin up prototypes at lightning speed. The barrier to entry for creating things just plummets, so people who aren't expert coders can actually build their ideas. This is what's going to empower what Reid Hoffman calls the AI native generations. The whole process of coming up with an idea and making it real just gets accelerated like crazy. But, and there's always a but, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. So for Section 4, we have to talk about the peril, specifically what's being called the slop problem. So here's the deal. The code that an AI spits out can be, pretty unrefined. It can be messy, inefficient, or sometimes just flat out wrong. And that's what developers are starting to call slop. You also have the risk of AI hallucinations. That's when the model just kind of makes stuff up. And that can lead to major errors or even worse, big security holes. That's why having a human in the loop isn't just a nice to have, it is absolutely crucial to clean up that code, to refine it, and to make sure it's secure. So, moving into Section 5, we've got this incredible, fast, creative engine on one hand, and this very real need for precision and rock-solid reliability on the other. So where does that leave us? Well, it brings us right back to Reid Hoffman's big idea. The future is hybrid. And Hoffman has this perfect analogy for it. He says, think about when mobile phones really took off and became these powerful little computers in our pockets. Everybody was predicting the death of the PC, right? But that never happened. They just learned to coexist. They each do different things well. And he sees that exact same pattern playing out with vibe coding and traditional software. So what does this new collaborative workflow actually look like in practice? Well, you can think of it like a dance between the human and the AI. Step 1, you use vibe coding to brainstorm and generate ideas really, really fast. Get that first draft out there. Step 2, that's when the human expert comes in. They take that raw code and they refine it, they debug it, and they make sure it's secure. And then, for step 3, you use all the traditional trusted tools to finalize the product, to scale it up, and to maintain it properly. It's the best of both worlds. And this really is the single most important takeaway from all of this. The goal is augmentation, not annihilation. We're not talking about replacing humans. We're talking about giving humans a powerful new tool that makes us faster, more efficient, and way more creative. So I want to leave you with this one big question to think about. As AI really does become our creative partner in all of this, what does it even mean to be an expert anymore? When anyone can generate that first draft with a simple sentence, what are the skills that are really going to matter? That, I think, is the question that's going to define the next decade of work.